What is it?
Could I maybe sleep in your bed? Like I did when I was little?
Yeah, come on up.
What's going on, you guys? This is your girl, the Mad Queen 88, and I'm back with another Telltale's The Walking Dead video. This is a breakdown for the episode 2 official trailer for Stuff for the Children, and we're just gonna go through, stop, and chat about what's happening in the trailer. Let's get it.
What?
You're still little.
Yeah, I know.
There's this cold that settles on my skin. It happens right before a storm.
AJ? Sometimes I need the quiet.
So the trailer opens up with Clem in some sort of dream sequence. We're seeing these bright red doors, and we're hearing a baby crying, which is, in my opinion, might be AJ crying when he was little. We also see Clementine, Violet, AJ, and 10 in the same area. It looks like the same area where 10 was paying homage to his sister's graves at the school. And this looks like it might be the same area. And they might be having a funeral for Marlon. We have Violet standing right next to Clem, which displays that Violet is definitely on Clem's side in regards to what Marlon was doing behind the group's back, and also him being dead at the moment at the hand of AJ. She probably supports that AJ didn't truly understand what he was doing, and it was just a big accident that was waiting to happen considering he was holding a gun. But it definitely looked like in this frame that she's on her side. And I think the most important thing is finding out that Marlon gave 10's sisters away, and Violet had a really close relationship with one of 10's sisters, so she probably feels extra betrayed that Marlon lied to the entire group, telling them that these girls were dead when really he just gave them away.
It happens right before a storm.
AJ? Sometimes I need the quiet.
I want to go back to this cut right here. Clem is looking back very angrily at what looks to be Lewis and Violet. I say that I know this is Lewis here because of the wooden table leg that is his weapon, and of course the long coat. We know that Lewis wears this, and I believe this is Violet here. I feel like these boots are what she wears, and the compound bow was Marlon's initially. So now I think Violet is carrying his old weapon, and they're walking behind Clem and AJ. And so Clementine turns around and like makes this really mean face. I don't know if maybe she's feeling a little bit of distrust for them, or if they are feeling some distrust for Clem and AJ because of what happened to Marlon, which kind of contradicts what I was saying earlier about Violet standing next to Clem and being on her side. But we don't know what could have changed since that scene, or if that scene was after this. We don't know. But there's definitely, Clementine's looking back at them for some reason, and they're trailing and walking behind them. Maybe they're escorting Clem and AJ out of the school because they don't feel safe with AJ being at the school after he shot Marlon. We have AJ screaming for Clementine, and then we see Clementine running through a forest that is crawling with the dead. It looks like they may have gotten separated. It looks like the same woods they were walking through with Lewis and Violet trailing behind them. It's now nighttime, and it looks like Clem and AJ somehow got separated, and she's rushing to his rescue.
Am I a murderer?
When I first watched this trailer and reacted to it, that was a very heart-wrenching question for me. Am I a murderer? This is being asked by I think he's 4 or 5. This question is being asked by a 4 or 5-year-old that killed somebody. And he was only doing what he had been taught thus far. He doesn't, again, have the maturity to know whether he needs to be shooting somebody or not. And so now he's conflicted and thinking that he's a murderer, and he probably has all these people around him saying that he is. I'm not sure how all the kids at the school are taking him shooting Marlon at this point. They could be calling him a murderer. There could only be a few of them that are on their side. We don't know.
I did what you told me.
That's going back to the dream sequence. And AJ again is saying, I only did what you told me. You had a conversation with him, I think it was in the car in the first episode, saying what he needs to do with his weapon, whether it be if you're going to shoot, mean it, or always aim for the head. And I think there were a few other options, but he definitely did what he was told. And I think that's just a symptom of him not being around other people, and again being so young, being so young that he doesn't understand or have the maturity to make calls like that. Therefore, he shouldn't have been carrying a gun in the first place. But that's for another video. Let's go.
Dude, you'll die protecting him. A walker you didn't spot. A bullet you couldn't dodge. A desperate cry for help that brings the herd. It happened to Lee, and it'll happen to you.
Let me just back up a little bit. So we all know who was saying all that messed up shit. It was your girl Lily from season 1. I wasn't totally surprised that she's showing up this season. I think there was a question about her in the pre-game questions that kind of dictate certain things that happen throughout the game. I've bounced back and forth playing PC and playing on my Xbox, so I don't have the previous history all on my Xbox, so I wasn't able to bring all of my previous choices into this game. But I did answer all the questions, and one of the questions was, you know, who did Lily shoot, and did you leave her, or did you bring her with you? And so I kind of figured that was going to be important and that she was going to return. So here she is, and she's saying all of these things to Clem. She's saying that you're going to die just like Lee did, trying to save AJ. And to me, that's really messed up. It's really messed up because I'm pretty sure Clem has some sort of internal feelings about having the responsibility for Lee's death, feeling like she should have never been speaking to that man on the walkie-talkie. She should have never ran off and been with that person. But again, that scenario was not her fault. She was a very young kid at the time. And again, just like in AJ's situation, didn't have the maturity to know that, hey, this stranger might not be able to help me find my parents. This stranger could possibly be a bad person. She didn't have that life experience, and she didn't have the maturity. So, and that did unfortunately lead to Lee doing everything he could to find her and get herself, and he died doing that. And Lily is kind of rubbing salt into the wound, saying, hey, yeah, that happened to Lee because of you, and now the same thing's going to happen to you because of AJ. I personally am not going to deny that truth. I don't know if Lee would have continued to survive if he had just given up on looking for Clementine or, you know, whatever. But at the same time, Lee found something in Clementine that made him want to keep going in this apocalypse. And Clementine sees the same thing in AJ that is really the only thing keeping her going. She doesn't have a lot of people that she knows, or people from her past, or her parents anymore. So she lost a lot of will to go on, and AJ is that for her. So I agree with Lily, but then at the same time I don't, because everyone needs something to push forward with in this time. And if it's AJ, you know, Clem's gonna fight for AJ and gonna continue to live and survive for AJ. So yeah, Lily's a real asshole for even saying that kind of stuff, especially since Clem is still a kid herself. So she's kind of just rubbing salt in the wound. I'll be interested to see how they got to this conversation. I don't think that when they initially saw each other that they were on this level of hostility or having this type of conversation. I think possibly when they saw each other, they were like, oh snap, you're alive, you're alive. You know, I'm pretty sure Clem didn't expect to ever see Lily again. I'm pretty sure Lily didn't ever expect to see Clem again. And when you kind of run back into somebody in the zombie apocalypse that wasn't really bad to you. Lily wasn't bad to Clementine. Clementine wasn't bad to Lily. Obviously, she was just a kid. The only thing that was bad about Lily is that she shot either Doug or Carly, and or she either stole the RV from you or got left behind. There was nothing really bad between Clementine and her. So I think initially when they meet, there won't be any bad blood, but I think just finding out that Lee is dead, and then having this conversation came up. As far as how they met in this next episode, I'm thinking that Lily might be with these Raider people. I don't see any other way of her just kind of to make the story work, of her just kind of stumbling on her in the woods. There has to be some sort of connection, and I'm thinking that she's with these Raiders that Marlon gave the girls to. So that's something we're going to have to find out in the next episode. I also want to back up and just kind of look at this scene again. It looks like a building is on fire, so I'm thinking that is what happened to the place that Clem and AJ were at previously, before they got to the school, before they went on the road. So anyways, you guys, that is my breakdown of Telltale's The Walking Dead, the episode 2 official trailer for Stuff for the Children. Let me know down in the comments, how do you think Clem and Lily are going to meet up in this episode? Do you agree with Lily? Do you think that risking your life and dedicating your life to a child in a zombie apocalypse will put you at risk and eventually get you killed? Let me know down in the comments. I'm your girl, the Mad Queen 88. If you're enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of this video and other videos that I create, be sure to give me a sub. All right, peace.